Welcome to the best of Central Florida. I am Justin Clark. I will never forget. The year was 2002. I was in law school up in Boston, hanging out at the Beantown pub to be exact. A classmate comes over, introduces himself. He said he was from Orlando. I was shocked. I thought Orlando was theme parks, chain restaurants, maybe a water park or two. Who would have thought that now, 20 years later, I would have lived here for 15 of them? Who would have thought I would raise my 2 little girls here? Who would have thought I would fall in love with Central Florida? It's a hidden gem, great restaurants, sports teams, booming art scene, the Wekiva River, the beaches, and yes, even the theme parks. From Ponce Inlet to Port Canaveral, Viera to Valcaria, this is the best of Central Florida. Well, you know, if you've watched the news at all, that this real estate market in Central Florida is absolutely crazy. And a lot of you are thinking, oh my gosh, I did not know my house was worth this much. I want to sell it and go buy a new one. Here's the problem if you do that. If you sell it, you've got to go buy a new one. That is the problem. Let's bring in the beautiful Michaela Nichols. My dear friend, Michaela, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Think about this though, and you just went through a renovation in your house as well. Instead of going to buy a new house, what if we make the house that you're currently living in feel new to you? It is not that hard to update it. It's not that hard to make the house that you're in, that you might be bored with, awesome again. How did your renovations go?
It was a lot.
It was a lot?
Good. I mean, the finished product was totally worth it.
But it feels like a totally different house now, doesn't it? And I've taken a tour of it too, and it looks great. It looks like a whole brand new house. I'm not saying don't go buy a new house. It's always a good time to buy real estate, but I'm telling you that there are other options as opposed to going out, selling this house, moving and going to another house. And for today, what better day in this real estate market than to tell you how to make your house feel new by visiting the 3 top best home renovation companies in all of Central Florida. Here's what we'll do. Quick break. When we return, the 3 top home renovation companies in Central Florida.
As many of you may know or not know, I have been doing a lot of home renovation and home improvement myself. So Michaela's choice for best home improvement are my good friends at Luxe Furniture and Design. I am joined by the owner, Michelle Dvorak. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good.
So happy to have you here. And honestly, I mean, the moment you walked in, you're setting everything up. I'm excited to dive into this, but Michelle, I've got to know, what separates your business?
I think for us, it's our quality, customer service, and customization that sets us apart.
So when you're talking about customization, I mean, for someone like myself, I get overwhelmed with like options. So how do you, someone like me, I walk in, right? And we're talking and I'm like, I got a lot of choices here. What do I do? Do you kind of hold my hand in that process?
Absolutely. We hear that a lot from our customers, that it just seems like such an overwhelming process, just from even knowing what furniture is going to fit in your home, to what color you want, what style you want. They don't even know what style they like, right? So we do have interior designers that can help with that. We can do in-home consultations where we come out, we'll do measurements. We talk with you, we look at what you have going on, talk about where you think you want to go with your design, and then we put together a personalized design package. So with that, we have a floor plan. You can kind of see a 3D rendering. We do things like this where we'll bring some fabrics in, some accessories, and see if that's going to work for you. So it's really our job to make sure that you're not going to make a mistake.
That's important, because I feel like, you know, you might have a few items that look great and other ones that don't necessarily mesh well with it. So how do you kind of balance that? I mean, you're setting up this space, your home, where you're spending a lot of your time. I mean, now so more than ever. How do you kind of, you know, tell me, hey, Michaela, that's not really a great idea, like kindly?
Well, that is always the challenge, right? So I think it's just about offering options. You know, we might say, well, that's a great idea, but let's think about this. You know, or if there's something that's really different that I want the customer to try, I'll say, you know, let's just think out of the box a little bit here for a minute and see what you think. And a lot of times once customers can visualize it, if you can help them to really see it, then they might come along.
So speaking of visualize, you brought some amazing products here with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Right, so I wanted to share that we really cover everything from floor to ceiling. So we have area rugs, we even sell wallpaper, furniture of course, accessories, window treatments, so just about everything, and about everything can be customized as well. So I have some area rugs here. The main thing is to start with your bigger pieces of furniture, you probably want to start with something more neutral. And with that, you can do several different things. So you see two very different styles here. We have something very coastal, something that's more modern, contemporary over here, just by changing your area rugs and just a few accessories. So over the years, you know, you're gonna have your piece of furniture for a long time. So as styles change or your personal tastes change, you can add something fresh to your home just by changing your accessories.
And you spoke of performance.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Yes. So this is a performance fabric. We offer a lot. They come in a lot of different styles, a lot of different textures. So with the performance fabrics, there is something woven just down into the very fibers that there's a soil and stain resistance. So if you do spill anything, you're not going to have to worry. You just blot it up right away. They're also going to be very durable. So with the performance fabrics, you can go with something a little bit lighter and not have to worry. And especially if you have pets or children, that's really something to think about as well.
Definitely. My dog sheds all the time, and I'm always looking for something like this because, you know, that pet dander and whatnot. So would this be more for like a larger piece, or would it be kind of more small?
You could do either way, but like I said, we do kind of recommend the larger pieces would be a little bit more neutral, and your smaller pieces like your chairs or something like that, you might want to bring in some kind of like a fun pattern, maybe even something like that.
Very nice.
I'm dying to know what this is. Okay. I've been dying
We're not
to
there
know
yet,
these.
Justin.
Okay,
I know you're saying no. Please, let's discuss it.
Because I felt like I couldn't pick it up, and then I picked it up, and I actually could. I was shocked.
Yeah, let us know. How does that feel?
It feels like not that heavy.
Right, but it looks like metal, right?
Yes, it looks very heavy, metal-like, but it's not. What is this?
So that's a product that we offer. It's called Tableau. It's a company out of Texas, and it's called faux iron. And that can be made, it's very lightweight material, can be made to look like iron or wood. Yes.
Thank you.
And then it comes in a lot of different styles and finishes, and I just brought a few here today. And you can see you can go from something really traditional, or you could go to something else here that looks a little bit more contemporary, more sleek, more modern. And you can use one of their designs, or you can even customize your own. Wow. So we do have a customer that her last name starts with B, and so we did a design that she liked butterflies, so there was a bee in there, and then the design had butterflies incorporated into it as well. So just about anything you can imagine, they can make for you.
Can you make an M for Michaela?
Absolutely.
Because that's coming up next, I assure you.
It is. I mean, I've been dealing with so many stuff like this, and I see this, and I'm like, okay, I need this item, I need that. I mean, do you have someone like me that might walk in and like see this amazing like candlestick, and I want to go there instead of focusing on the bigger picture?
Sure, but we do advise that we do things in stages. Usually let's start with the bigger pieces, and then you can always bring in all the fun elements and the other pieces of design later on. But if you have unless you have an inspiration piece, you might come in and bring a pillow or a piece of art or something like that. That's your inspiration, and then we'll work from there.
That sounds great. Well, Michelle, I mean, I am kind of motivated and inspired by some of the pieces that you brought here. It makes my brain kind of go a million miles per hour. But I don't know, Justin, are you excited to
I feel strong, but I also feel like if I need some inspiration, I'm going to see you guys, no doubt about it.
Well, we hope you will. We look forward to seeing you.
Well, Michelle, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank
Do
you.
yourself a favor and check out Luxe Design and Furniture. They're absolutely amazing, and they're located in Melbourne, and we'll be right back after this short break.
You have spoken, the people have spoken. A People's Choice this week for Best Home Improvement goes to our great friends over at Solar Ray. Very proud to be joined by SolarA's founder, CEO, a little bit of everything. Michael Brown is here. Michael, how are you? Welcome to the show,
I feel
buddy.
very honored. I feel like I should be jumping up and down.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room first. Solar is great. Yes, we understand that. Unfortunately, there are some companies out there that do solar that have not been doing such a good job like SolarA's has. Sales organizations, essentially, just knocking on your door saying, hey, get solar, and then they disappear. How do I prevent myself from allowing that to happen?
Well, vet them.
Yeah.
Right, so you're going to want to look for companies that can prove that they've been in business for 5, 10, 15. We've been in business 19.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to misrepresent myself, but you're going to see a lot of misrepresentation with that. So always check up with the Department of Corporations and Better Business Bureau, things that you can see what the age of the company actually is.
But don't let some bad businesses out there taint how good solar actually is. You think about all of the positives. I think about my electricity bill going down substantially. I think about the tax credit. Start with the tax credit. Tell me about the tax credit. How does that work?
Well, the tax credit is an income tax credit, so it comes off of your income tax when you file. It's a simple single sheet.
Yeah.
Addition. It's a worksheet, and in the regular 1040 there's a line for that amount. It's 26% this year. Next year it goes down to 22%, then it goes away residentially. But then it sticks around for an appointed time commercially.
Right.
At 10%, not at 22%.
And then we always are going to look at the savings that we have when it comes to our electricity bill every single month. And solar, I think people understand, most people get solar with $0 down at sometimes a 0% interest rate, a 2% interest rate, meaning the payment is very low on the solar system, and we're saving more money net when you compare it to what we're saving on the electricity bill.
Yeah, and that's what you want to look for in a contractor, whether it be us or somebody else, is something that's going to save you money minus your electrical bill in addition to the payment that you're making, right? So that is one of our missions, is to make sure that the solar systems that we sell are affordable to the customer, that they're not going to end up paying more than they were paying before they got into a contract for a solar system.
For those of us that were around in 2006 when we were all buying houses with the 80-20 mortgage, where we'd have a first mortgage and a second mortgage, I think those people think that when you get solar, it's a second mortgage on your house. I know that not to be true. Explain how that works.
Well, a lot of companies out there and some of the bigger names out there are trying to talk you into leases. In fact, the two biggest names out there, the national companies, that's their big part of their business model, is to get you tied into a financing model that ties to your mortgage, to your property, so that there is a lien on your property. What you're looking for is financing, and there's plenty of options out there right now because of the interest rates and because it's a secure loan for lenders, right? Because it's already an expense that you have, that you can get personal loans now at $0 down, at anywhere from 2.99% all the way down to 0.99%. And then the term of the loan, we can customize that for you to meet what you're looking for a monthly payment, and when you're looking for that payment to end.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think what maybe even appraisers and real estate agents have not caught up with yet is that I believe solar does increase the value of your home. It has to. If you think about this, same neighborhood, two identical houses. One house has an electricity bill of $50 a month. The other one has an electricity bill of $400 a month. That is saving that person money, and I believe inherently that's going to increase the value of the home for the person who has solar. What do you think?
That is absolutely true, and we have customers aging 19 years, right? So we've seen people sell houses and buy new houses. We've seen people take the system off, take it with them. We've seen people tell us that it made their house sell faster, that their agent loved it, that they had solar. If you are selling your house and the appraiser and or the agent doesn't like it, get another appraiser or a different agent, because this is a big selling point. You have builders that are putting it on automatically. So if it wasn't a good idea and good for selling your house or adding value to your house to the amount that you owe on it, it wouldn't be done.
Some of these huge electrical conglomerates, these electricity companies, it seems like they're dipping their feet in the proverbial solar water, and it makes me very nervous. What do you think about these big companies really invading your space?
Now you can get me in trouble with the utilities.
Okay. You want to skip that?
No, we won't skip that. But so It's a good idea for individuals to be independent, energy-wise. It's a good idea for the government or the country, and the utilities. It's just business, right? So they're trying to discourage or trying to put up roadblocks for individuals to be energy independent, so that you will be dependent upon them.
Sure.
And if it wasn't a good idea and it wasn't something that they would need to do, they wouldn't be the largest investors with the largest solar plants in the country.
Exactly.
So,
Michael Brown, Solar Ray, keep up the good work. You're giving solar a good name.
thank you
Nice
very
to
much.
see you, buddy.
Good to
If
see
you have not looked into solar, if you're a homeowner, you really need to do. So think about this. We're saving money on electricity every month. We're saving money on our taxes at the end of the year. And at the end of the day, it's good for the environment. Call Solar Ray today. Quick break. Justin's Choice is next. And finally, it's time for my favorite portion of the program. It's time for Justin's Choice. And I'm pleased to announce that Justin's Choice for Best Home Renovation goes to our very good friends over at Todd Thomas Home. Who better to talk about Todd Thomas Home than Todd Thomas himself, founder, owner, everything over there. When we first met today, I couldn't help but notice what you said to me. And it really resonated with me. I said, what separates Todd Thomas Home? And you went right to client customer experience is what we're all about. Tell me about that.
Well, it's so important, when we're in someone's home, even when everything goes perfect, it's a stressful experience for the homeowner. We're taking them out of their routine, and we recognize that, and we try to take the stress out around every corner by making sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Everything's been ordered, everything's tracked, everything's lined up. We've made them aware of what the schedule's going to be. When we get in there and get started, we keep everything clean and just really focus on making sure that they have a good experience.
And it's one thing if I go to Publix and buy apples. I am the customer at that point, but that's a very quick transaction. Or if you go to Gucci and you buy a Gucci bag, that's a very quick experience. When you hire someone to renovate the inside of your home, this is not a regular client's relationship. Becomes a real relationship. You really get to know these people.
Right.
And I think the relationship between contractor and client is a hugely important one.
Yeah, towards the end of the job, we're like family.
That's right.
We've really gotten to know them, and sometimes it's hard to see us go.
That's right.
We form a real bond with them.
And you do anything inside of an existing structure, anything that's underneath an existing roof. Tell me what all you do over at Todd Thomas Home.
Like you said, everything interior. Our specialty is kitchens and bathrooms, but we do everything interior from windows and doors, flooring, baseboards, taking out load-bearing walls and putting beams in. Really, there's nothing off the table.
I've talked a lot about the real estate market in Central Florida, obviously maybe the hottest it's ever been, and people are saying, oh my gosh, I didn't know my house was worth this much, I'm gonna go sell it. And you think that, but then once you sell a house, what do you have to do?
Where are you going to go?
You have to go buy a new one. And I think that now is probably the best time to think about renovating the interior of your home because maybe you're tired of it. Maybe you got stuff in the drawers. It is a great time to make your existing home feel new. Make it feel like an awesome house, an awesome new house without having to go buy a new one. You must hear this all the time.
Yes.
And you do everything inside, kitchen, bath, you do cabinetry. I mean, pretty much anything that needs to be done inside with the remodel, you don't need to piecemeal this. You guys are gonna come in and do everything.
Yep, we're a one-stop shop. We've been doing this a long time, and we've been using the same subs for a long time because we know the quality they're going to deliver, and they know what our expectations are. So, when you sign a contract with us, you're purchasing peace of mind, knowing that we've got trusted people that we know will deliver a quality product. And we always let our clients know that we're not done until you're completely satisfied.
So a lot of people obviously have been home during the pandemic, home more than they ever have been, and naturally they're gonna notice things that they don't like inside of their home. So they've been sitting around stewing about, I wish I could fix this, I wish I could fix that. Maybe I don't have the money to do that. How does that process go? I'm sitting inside my house right now. I'm sick of my kitchen. I'm sick of my bathroom. How does the process go from first calling you to actually signing a contract and saying, Todd, let's go get it?
Well, that process, once you make that first call, the first thing we do is listen to your needs and to determine if we're a good fit. We talk about budget. You know, how much do you think you're going to spend on this? Sometimes people don't want to come right out and say what they're willing to pay. So we'll volunteer and say, well, you know, our bathrooms start at this, our kitchens start at that, and make sure that we're, you know, within their budget. Once we establish that, then we send the estimator out to the house and potentially a cabinet designer if, you know, the necessity is there. When the estimator gets there, again, he'll listen to their needs and review the situation and discuss budget again, just to make sure that we're not wasting their time or ours.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And what about, how much interaction do you need with me? Let's say I don't know exactly what I want. I know I want a new kitchen, but I don't know exactly what I want. Can you help me with that? And how does that go?
Certainly. We're going to hold your hand all the way through the process. We're going to bring the cabinet designer in who is going to be able to see your space, see how you have your space decorated, and coordinate your cabinetry and your countertops to what you have or what you want. And then we have preferred vendors that we work with. So we're going to send you to pick out your tile with our account manager that works with all of our clients, your lighting, your plumbing fixtures. We have dedicated people that will roll out the red carpet and hold your hand all the way through.
Right. And it's not like if I call you that one time, I'm locking myself into something forever. I mean, you're going to give me a free quote. You're going to give me a free estimate.
Absolutely.
And you're going to give me your thoughts on maybe I do need this, maybe I don't need that. Maybe there's something that I feel like you need to rip out everything. Maybe you can do it a little bit easier.
Sure. Our initial estimate's going to provide allowances for the things you haven't selected yet. Your plumbing fixtures, your tile, your lighting. And if that estimate works for you, if that's in your budget, then we'll collect a retainer and we'll send you to make your choices. And then we'll revise the estimate.
Todd Thomas Home, what a great job you guys are doing out there.
Thank you, Justin.
Great to see you today. Yeah, do yourself a favor. If you are looking to do any sort of remodeling inside of your home, he's a one-stop shop for anything inside. Call Todd Thomas Home today. Michaela, you've had a lot of experience with remodeling here recently.
I have.
I've got a lot of new ideas today. What do you think? Are you ready? No,
you need a little bit.
You need to take a little break?
It's good we had amazing guests on because, let's be honest, you might need a little bit of assistance.
Well, excellent job as always today. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you to our great WKMG crew. Do me a favor, hit record series now, and we'll see you next week for more Best of Central Florida.